stories. Howdy folks, having a good day today. Let me be the first to welcome you to Autism Rocks and Rolls. Now before we begin, I must note that I am not a doctor or a psychiatrist. If your son or daughter needs to be diagnosed with autism, please see a physician. I only speak on this based on my experiences. I also do not own the rights to these songs. Both musics were found on YouTube and are published on August 28 and December 2010. Now I also have a couple of shout-outs to give. So the first shout-out I must give is to Miss Gerald Glasser, a.k.a. the Pop Culture Cosmos leader. He is a avid wrestling fan like me, and we together did some SummerSlam, which is a wrestling pay-per-view in case y'all don't know what it is. But anyway, we did some SummerSlam predictions, and it was actually really fun. So, Gerald, I hope you're doing well. I can't wait to come back for the Royal Rumble predictions. Also, I must give a shout out to Fabian Ojeda, a.k.a. the host of the Ignorance is Strength podcast. I really do like his podcast because it does give us a message that ignorance is really strength. Ignorance can be strength. It really can. Or strength can be ignorance. I mean, I think it should be ignorance is strength. It's true because ignorance can be strength, or strength can be ignorance. So when y'all think of that, it's pretty solid. Also, I want to thank people who have either A, have bought merchandise, or or the shirt winner as well, or who have bought bracelets or COVID mask. Thank you again, and I cannot wait to give you all those items. The last thing we must do is we have a word from our sponsor, so let's hit it.
Salon 45, whether you want to get a simple, classic haircut or you want to get a personalized look from one of our seasoned stylists, Salon 45 is for you. They offer a range of services for the whole family, starting from hairstyling, hair coloring, permanent waves, waxing, cuts, and even nails. Hey, these girls are great, especially with someone who has autism or a disability. Conveniently located on Highway 45 in Salisbury, Indiana, and near the I-69 exit. 812-825-5184.
Alright, so thank you, and like I said, I would recommend getting a haircut there because they are so good, and by the way, I think our guest needs to get a haircut. No, I'm kidding, I think he's fine the way he looks. But anyway, let's introduce him. So, today's guest is the critiquer of the podcast, and my grandfather, Big Joe. How you doing, Big Joe?
I'm good.
You doing good?
Yeah, pretty good.
Is there anything you want to say to our viewers out there?
No, I just want to tell everybody hi, and I'm happy for you to have me here and ask me some questions.
Alrighty. So my first question to you is, what does having an autistic grandson mean to you?
Well, it means, I have 3 grandsons, and it just means I've got another grandson. They're all different, but they're all the same, and I love them all the same. I really don't distinguish them as having autism and not having autism.
How are we all different and similar? I'm kind of interested in this now.
Well, they're your cousins. Yeah, and you know how different they are from each other. You are just as different from them as they are each other.
Yeah, from personality to looks to...
Personality, looks. You're the oldest. You're my first grandson. So...
you mean the favorite?
You're my favorite that size.
Okay. I'll take it. So, now my second question is, what were your first thoughts when you learned that I had autism?
Well, my first thoughts, I learned from my niece, who I think that I was the last person that your mom told about it. I think that she was uncomfortable telling me, thinking that, not knowing how I would accept it, thinking that I might deny it or something like that. You know, and she was just concerned about how I would take it.
And how'd you take it?
I took it good. Well, I was kind of upset that I was one of the last people to be told. But
I don't blame you there, to be honest with you.
But no, it turned out good. You know, it wasn't anything against me. It was just, I think she was just trying to protect me.
Yeah, protect you. Protect you from yourself?
To protect me from my feelings, and and protect me from what she perceived that I might, that the way I might act or what I might think about it.
I got you, definitely. So now, speaking of that, is how do you think my brain operates?
It operates like a brain. You know, my brain operates the way it does, and because of what I've learned and what I've experienced, and it just is the way my neurons connect. You know, some people think that I'm kind of weird in some ways, and if I am, that's because the way my neurons connect, and yours connects the same way in most things. But there's just some things that you perceive different, something than me, and perceive it different than other people. But I don't notice a whole lot of difference in you and people who don't have autism.
You don't perceive it?
I don't notice much difference.
You don't notice it? That's good. I think we need people who won't notice the difference because we can do it, just not the way you want us to.
Yeah, sometimes.
And now, what is something I do not know about you?
There's a lot of things you don't know about me, and there's a lot of things you'll never know about me.
Ooh, spooky!
One, I would say, I don't know if you know this or not, that growing up that I went to 15 different schools, elementary schools.
Oh, nope, I don't know that.
I did. We moved a lot. 3rd grade, I went to 3 different schools. 6th grade, I went to 3 different schools. But we just moved around a lot.
Moving around, yeah. You were a drifter?
No, we were evicted a lot, I think. So we had to always be looking for a place to live.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. So now, how is it similar and different with raising children and a grandchild with autism?
Well, it's similar because you start out with a little baby, no matter if they have autism or not, and you've got to make sure that they're nourished and they have a place to stay, and you got to make sure that you're teaching them the right thing. And it's the same thing with an autistic child. They have to be nourished and they have to be taken care of. You know, they're just sometimes you just have to, with an autistic child, you need to learn how they're perceiving things. So you have to alter things a little bit, but not a whole lot really. Once you start understanding what autism is.
Not really, not a lot. No. That's awesome. I like that a lot. So now, how do you aid someone with autism?
I don't know a whole lot of people that have autism, but the people that I do know, I would think you would have to aid them in different ways. You'd have to look at each one of them as an individual and see what their needs are, because just because somebody's autistic,
they're so different. The needs are extremely different.
Just like anybody that doesn't have autism, you
just got to figure out the needs.
You just got to figure out their needs, and a lot of there's people that I do know that have autism, but I don't know what their needs are because I'm not around them all the time like I am you. So I over the years I've kind of figured you out a little bit, enough to where I think I can help you sometimes. But it's different. Each person with autism is different than people who don't have autism.
Yeah, they are a little different, but they're also similar if you think about it.
There's a lot of similarities from what I have saw, with autistic people, that there are certain things that stand out in certain groups of autistic people, but not every autistic person.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of similarities.
There's definitely a lot of similarities. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes too. Now, is there anything that I have taught you with having autism?
Well, you know me. You know that I know everything. So I'm not sure. So I'm not sure what you could have taught me. So, no, you've taught me, to pay attention, to you particularly, because there's just certain things that you just can't take for granted with you having autism, because you're just not quite perceiving things the way that I do, which I guess nobody does, but from a person who has autism like you do, that it's hard sometimes to know exactly what you're thinking, but I try to pay attention.
It is, but I think I'm getting better at telling you what I think. I mean,
you're getting a lot better at telling me.
I straight up tell you, like, this is what I think. I think it's dumb, or I think it's good.
Yes, sometimes you're too blunt. But
yep, I know that. Believe me.
What episode was that?
C102, Honesty versus Bluntness, for more information on that.
That's right, yeah. But
one of my mom's favorites, actually.
Yeah, it was a good one. I liked them all, but that was a good one.
That was a good one, especially because I still work on it. I still need to work on it to this day.
Well, everybody has to work on
some stuff.
Forever.
Yeah, I got life long-term goals, but I get it. Now, this is what I think of you. You are funny and love jokes. And someone who we can all laugh at and make fun of and make something fun, like make something a little fun, like with a simple task or something like that. That's what I've said, like you can make something fun. But you are a control freak and want to control everything and manage it your way. Why are you like that exactly?
Why are you like that?
I'm not like that.
Neither am I.
You think you are? What was he say the other day? You're a patriarch or something like that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I have to. I have a lot of people that depend on me to make the right decision, whether it's you or my kids or my other grandkids. And I see you doing something. If you're about to screw it up, I'm not going to let you screw it up. You know, I'm going to step in. I want to stop you, and I'm going to say, this is the way you should do it. With you being blunt, with the way you are, that's why I perceive that you're calling me a control freak. Because you don't, for one thing, you don't like people telling you what to do, which that's not a bad thing.
No one likes to, I think.
But I'm not going to stand there and let you screw something up and make you fix it twice.
Fair enough.
You know, so I think that's why you perceive me as being a control freak. But I've got a lot of people to look after.
And I don't blame you.
See?
Now, what's the funny part? Since you're laughing over here, hardcore. Why are you funny? What made you like jokes so much and puns and all that stuff?
Well, puns, they kind of started with you because in the beginning, I noticed you were taking things literal. Where if somebody said something, you would take it at face value, exactly what they said, and that was linked to your autism. So I realized that which I knew you was a joker and you like jokes, and even though you didn't get them a lot of times, but I thought, well, let's try a couple puns, you remember I started telling you puns and you weren't getting them. You thought, wait a minute, that you took it literal, but it also gave you the opportunity to understand that there's more than one meaning to something, which is what puns are. And I feel like that, you getting into puns and me and you, both of us exchanging puns all the time, that it gives you the opportunity to understand there is more than one way to look at something where you don't have to jump to conclusions.
There's one more way to look at something than the way you perceive. Look at the other way.
Yeah, sometimes more than two.
Sometimes more than there could be 100.
There could be 100 ways to look at something. And if a pun once you understand a pun, it might give you the opportunity to slow your brain down a little bit and realize, let me analyze this for a second. It may mean something else, So that's one of the reasons that I got into puns, is because you liked them and I liked them, and we both.
I mean, that's our thing, basically.
It is. I get kind of sick of it sometimes. So
yeah, it's kind of annoying.
Settle down.
But I got one. No way, Jose. I got one. Quit being a control freak now.
Sorry.
Here's my pun for you. What type of document do the pencils have to use sometimes for their Pen America, I guess? The Declaration of Independence.
See, that wasn't funny.
That was funny. You're giggling over there. Like you go with a better one.
That was a good one.
Your turn.
No, let's do the interview. I've got way too many puns.
Okay.
That could go on all night.
Fair enough. Oh, I get it now. It took me a second.
Wait a minute. What?
All night? Were you making a pun or no?
No.
Oh, I thought you were making a pun. All right. Now, anyway, other than now since I described you, how would you describe me?
You are funny. That's why I'm laughing right now.
I can tell.
Because you make me laugh. You're funny. You're very smart. I'm really proud of you because you got a very good memory. And
sometimes I do. It just depends on the day.
Yeah, usually you do. But mainly I'm just proud of you. Just because of what you've accomplished, and and some of the things that you have to deal with that a lot of people don't have to deal with.
And what I'm doing right now. I mean,
what you're doing right now.
Look at me. I'm going to a CEO class.
And you're dressed up like you're going to a prom.
I am not dressed up. I'm going to. That's a tuxedo, dude.
Oh, okay.
Nice try though. Maybe next time I'll dress up in a tux. As much as I don't like them.
I can do that. I'll wear mine.
You won't look good in a tux. I'm sorry.
I wore blue crushed velvet to my graduation.
You wore what?
Blue crushed velvet.
Blue crushed velvet?
It was pretty cool back then, yeah.
That doesn't look cool now. I'm sorry.
Probably not.
Now, what is the most rewarding and difficult thing about having a son with autism? I mean, having a grandson. Wow.
What's rewarding?
Yeah, what is rewarding and difficult? The most rewarding and difficult.
There's not a whole lot of difficulties for me. I'm not sure what your parents had to put up with. But, I don't No, I don't notice much difficulty. I enjoy being around you. It's never difficult being around you unless you're calling me a control freak or something. But no, I enjoy being around you. There's nothing difficult about it.
Yeah, that's good. I appreciate that. I'd like to think I'm perfect, but I don't think we all are. We're all human.
We are.
We are. Now, I know you're retired, but can you tell me about the occupation you enjoyed the most?
I've had a few. I would say that I was a manager at a heating and cooling business for several years, and I really enjoyed that. But it's actually one of the last jobs I did before I retired. But it was good. And after that, I worked for myself, and that was really rewarding, because it was all up to me. Am I going to make it or not?
Why did you enjoy it?
Well, for that reason, that I was my own boss.
You were the young you were you.
I was.
That's
yeah,
how
I was
we
the
are.
boss.
We want to
Yeah,
do
I
us.
I was either going to make it or I wasn't. It was all up to me.
We want to be our own. We want to be us, not be our boss. We don't want to be the boss us.
I never really liked doing anything unless I was the boss.
Yeah.
Oh, that goes back to that control freak thing.
It does now.
Man, you're really bringing this out.
I am. Now, also, who or what inspired you to do it?
To work for myself?
Yeah.
Well, just that. I knew it could be done, and I knew I could do the work, and I liked being able to get up, without feeling like that I had to get there and punch that time clock. I could, if I was going to be late, I could call the customer if there's something came up, but a lot of it was the pressure that I didn't have to.
You just don't want to feel pressure, and you don't want.
There was a lot of pressure being a manager of 50 people.
Yeah, that's pressure. I mean, you just don't want to screw up. I mean, and that was too much for you, I think. It sounds like to me.
It was just a lot more laid back working for myself. Even though I had to be responsible and do a good job, it was still, I didn't have anybody breathing down my neck.
I got you. And I don't think we like anyone. I don't think it's the same with autism. We don't like anyone breathing down our neck, to be honest, too.
No, nobody does.
Nobody likes breathing down necks. That just sounds odd saying, but yeah. That just sounds even more odd. But anyway. So now, what is your paradise meal? Why is that your favorite?
I don't know if it'd be a paradise meal, but I just can't. It's hard for me to change. If I go out to eat lunch, especially lunch, if I eat lunch or breakfast, I'll have biscuits and gravy.
That's your thing?
2 eggs over easy on top. That's my thing.
That's your thing?
That's what I.
Do you put any meat on it, like any sausage on top, bacon?
Sometimes I'll have sausage patties, but for some reason,
it's just
biscuits and gravy, baby.
That's my way too.
You like
we
it?
all love biscuits and gravy. I think every good Indiana person, at least in the southern and where I live, should like biscuits and gravy.
There's some places that don't even serve it. Some states they don't even.
I know.
I mean, they'll serve it, but not the way.
Not the way it's supposed to serve.
Yeah, that's
it's. I think it's more of a southern thing, and I don't mind that at all. So now, what is your favorite movie or TV show, and why do you like it?
I'm not real big on movies. It's hard for me to get into a movie and sit and watch for 2 hours.
Yeah, that's my thing too. Movies to me, I like them, but I don't want to sit there for an hour.
Yeah, and you can't. There's no movie that lasts an hour. Usually it lasts 2.
Or 2 hours.
So,
I don't want to. I'm think the TV guy at least 48 minutes is. I'm like, okay, cool.
But I'm more into current events, so I watch the news a lot. On TV. I don't. If your grandmother gets a hold of the remote, which if she does, I'll be watching the news. I'll get up and go to the bathroom and come back, and Gunsmoke will be on. So
you big gun smoker too?
No, I mean it's okay. No, I watch them because she likes them, but
yeah.
But she likes the old westerns.
I know.
And I like current events.
Oh, I got you. Current issues. You ace a current events class. And just FYI, people, if you want to see Tay-Tay, C121 meet Tay-Tay. And so now, what's been your favorite vacation that you have ever taken, and why did you enjoy that vacation very much?
It's the same one. You interviewed your grandmother, and she said her favorite vacation was Mexico, which I went with her, which just so happens was my favorite vacation.
What'd you enjoy about Mexico?
What I remember of it, it was an all-inclusive resort so there were several restaurants, several bars, and a couple pools, and it was right on the ocean. So, we just ate, drank, laid around, didn't do much. We went out on the catamaran a couple of times, and it was just paradise.
I bet it was paradise. I would love to go out of Mexico, but I just had the fear of not crossing the United States because this is my concern with the United States. It's their rules. There's probably a rule in Mexico that I probably break by accident. And not
Mexico, it's different now. It's been years ago when we went, and Mexico's not the same as it was.
The only thing I know about Mexico is Fiesta and Macarena. Well, Macarena. Hey, Macarena. Hey! You gonna start dancing now?
What do you mean?
You were doing I'm not even gonna... Okay.
They don't call me JoJo Dancer for nothing.
You do dance pretty darn well. I've seen you dance. You've done your hit dance before. Now, what are some of your personal interests other than dancing? And why do you enjoy those?
I enjoy any kind of creating. I like wood carving and drawing and...
artsy-fartsy, dude?
Yeah, some kind artsy-fartsy stuff. But I just haven't really got into it a lot lately. But I kind of need to get back to it. Yeah. I'm getting so old that if I'm going to do anything, I better do it.
Yeah. You gotta save, and I'm gonna give you advice. You better save every moment because one day you could be snapped. I guess is the way to put it.
I know.
At least you can enjoy me, though. At least that's the best part.
Yes, I do.
So now, what are some of your proudest accomplishments you have ever made in your life?
My proudest accomplishments? I would say raising my family, raising my kids. And I would say also, I was raised in poverty. I don't know. You probably knew that. I probably told you.
Yeah, I think you told me that.
And
Tell me your stories.
And one of my biggest accomplishment is without anybody really helping, I was able to grow up and get out of that lifestyle.
And I know it's hard though. I mean, but here's my question. I don't mean to go like this big old poverty spiel. How did you do it? Because some people aren't like that. Some are just like, you know what? I'm living in poverty still.
Somehow me and all of my brothers and sisters, which there's 6 of them, we somehow knew, I don't know how we knew, we knew what was right and what was wrong. We were able to distinguish the difference between right and wrong. And we chose right.
Good job. Let's put it that way. Very good job. Very good. And now, are there any good memories that you want to tell our viewers about? If you do, why do you remember that memory the most? Now, before you answer, I want a good one, like a real proud, something that maybe changed your mind or something like that, or some memory that you just vividly night and miss, man, I miss those times. And I want a funny memory, which might be hard for you. Just saying.
A good memory?
Yes, sir.
I have so many. I would say that one of my best memories, and it's a kind of a time period. Whenever your mother was about 2 years old, we decided that we were going to build a house, but we didn't have any money. So we bought the property where we live now, and we decided if we can find a place that has trees, we can build a house. So we spent 2 years cutting down logs and peeling them by hand and stacking logs and built a house. And and that time period right there, it was I don't know, it was fun. We had a good time. We worked hard. We were young and able to do it, and we did it, and we got it done.
Good job. You got it done? I'm good. Did you call Treehouse Masters or no?
It wasn't a tree house.
Oh.
It was a log cabin.
Got it.
You've seen it.
No wonder. I've been there before. It's like I never noticed that, even though it's been a million times since I've been to your house. Now, what's your funny one?
Funny memory?
Yep. Something I laughed at.
I guess I should have thought about this more. Nothing. I don't have any funny memories.
Is it something I did that's funny? You can
like every day.
Like every day? Was it something funny I said? Oh.
Yeah, you get sometimes whenever you come over and we tell puns and we make them up as we go.
Yeah.
That they just come out of the out of the air. We just reach out of the air, and we're able to pull puns and make puns about anything and everything we see. And we laugh a lot. Actually, I laugh more when you and your mother come over than I do just on a regular day. So I appreciate it. I do laugh at you a lot.
Yeah, I do some dumb stuff, and it's all
And
for,
your mom. I laugh at your mom a lot.
We all do stupid stuff, but it's all for entertainment.
I know. No, I don't make fun of you about anything serious. But
Yeah.
whenever you're trying to be funny, you're pretty funny.
Thank you. Now, my final question is, what advice would you give to other parents who are raising a child with autism, or even if they just are a grandfather of a child with autism?
Well, they need to, this is my opinion,
Yes, sir.
pay attention to how the autistic child is acting. What do they like? What do they not like? What bothers them? What doesn't bother them? Teach your autistic child what you can, but don't expect them to be the only learner.
Don't expect perfection.
But they're not the only ones that need to learn. They don't need to just learn what you know. You need to learn what they know. They don't need to perceive things the way you perceive them every time. You've got to perceive things the way they do. That way you can help them perceive them, the things the way that you do.
You gotta have multiple perceivings or something like that.
Yeah, you've got to, don't put it all on their back. Get in there, pay attention.
Enter our world.
Enter your world. The more that you can enter the autistic child's world in their mind, you got to pay really close attention, because sometimes the things are so subtle that can make a big difference. And if you pay attention, an example, when you were small, you remember how the noises would just freak you out?
Yeah, they don't. I love loud noises now, but I get what you mean. It was awful.
Well, like in the buzzer at the basketball games, the organs at at weddings, and it took us a while to figure out what was wrong, But there was one thing that I did, and I think it helped you. And I mean, I don't know if you remember, but I think it helped you. I had that air horn. It was really loud, and I turned it on, about blew the windows out of the house, but it scared you really bad. And then I told you, I said, your mom's coming. I said, why don't we take this horn and scare her with it? You thought that was really funny. And you
well, that's because I'm a jokester and
you're a jokester. But I took the horn and I did it again, and to show you, here's what we're going to do when your mom comes. And I blew that horn. It scared you, but yet you were picturing your mom being scared, and you thought it was funny. So when she came, I turned that horn on, scared her really bad.
Probably did.
But you thought it was funny.
Yeah,
and it didn't scare you.
Probably because I was busy dying laughing.
I know, but you were able to relate that horn and that loud noise to something funny. And it was just something small, but that's the type of things that people need to pay attention and think about. What can I do? How are they perceiving this? I want to learn how they're thinking, and I don't have to teach them to learn what I'm thinking.
Yep, we got to do it. We all got to enter both worlds and see what. Sometimes we want to be mind readers and enter each other's mind, but we can't switch brains for one day, obviously.
No, you can't.
But I bet you one day we'll be able to when it's 2020, 2000
something.
What do you think? 2102. Maybe you never know. Only time will tell.
Well, maybe I'll leave my brain, and you could use it.
I ain't using your brain. I mean, you're a pretty smart dude, but half the time you drive me insane, I'm not going to use your brain if you drive me insane.
Yeah,
sometimes.
that's true. You become a control freak.
Yeah. Case in point. All right. Well, that'll be all for us. Do you have anything else you want to say before we head out of here?
No. I appreciate you having me over, though. It's been fun.
Thanks for joining for this episode. Please tune in for another episode coming very soon. Hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble. Thank you very much.